Jan 01, I'm sorry, say request again. It is 3,000 and 5 Golf Mike, actually amend altitude to send me in 1,000.
The Sukhoi Su27 Flanker. This aircraft is a long-range fighter jet capable of going at speeds of Mach 2.35, or 2 times the speed of sound. The Su27 was designed and built by the Russian aircraft company Sukhoi, which has also made many other impressive fighter aircraft. The Su27, NATO codename Flanker, was made in response to the West's F15 and F16 and was also very advanced for its time, being the first Russian aircraft to have fly-by-wire capability. The first flight of the aircraft occurred on May 20, 1977, the prototype being called the T-10-1. For the rest of its development, it had many problems, even the second prototype crashing because of a fly-by-wire malfunction. But by the 1980s, the aircraft was reborn with the new and improved T-10S that was eventually called the Su-27. The General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark. The General Dynamics F-111 is an American tactical bomber that is able to fly at Mach 2.5. The F-111 was designed very differently to other jet fighters as it had a variable sweep wing, which means both of its wings could change their configuration in flight. The F-111 with its wings swept back could fly at very fast speeds at high altitudes and low altitudes. The F-111 also set many records and first saw combat in the Vietnam War, main duty being a penetrating bomber. With a total of 562 F-111s built, 1964 to 76, the aircraft finished its operational career with the Royal Australian Air Force in 2010. The McDonnell Douglas F15 Eagle. The F15 Eagle is an American air superiority jet capable of flying at 2,665 kilometers per hour. The F-15 was designed by McDonnell Douglas and first flew in 1972 and later entering service with the Air Force in 1976. The F-15 gets a lot of its power from its two Pratt & Whitney F-100 PW100 afterburning turbojets, which did prove troublesome when first used on the jet. The jet was also very advanced for its time, being fitted with pulse Doppler radar, which tracked enemies from high altitudes to low altitudes. The F-15 also has, you can say, an excellent kill-to-loss ratio, being 92 claimed kills and no losses in combat. The F-15 also carries a variety of different weapons like the M61 20mm cannon and the A9X Sidewinder missiles. The MiG31 Foxhound. The MiG31 Foxhound is a Russian long-range supersonic interceptor which is based very similarly to the MiG25 Foxbat fighter aircraft. The MiG31 was designed or developed for Russian and Kazakhstan air forces, with an estimation of 400 to 500 produced for both air forces. The aircraft, with its beautifully designed fuselage and wings and two massive Soloviev D30 F6 turbofan engines, can fly at speeds of Mach 2.89. The MiG31 also has exceptionally good performance with a climb rate of 208 meters per second, or 10,000 meters in 7 minutes and 54 seconds. To cope with high speeds, the aircraft's airframe is made out of materials like nickel steel, titanium and aluminium. The aircraft armament consists of one 23mm cannon, 4 AA-9 long-range air-to-air missiles, 2 AA-6 air-to-air missiles, and 4 AA-8 missiles. The North American XB-70 Valkyrie. The North American XB-70 Valkyrie is an American nuclear bomber which was capable of flying at 3,310 km per hour, which is about 3 times the speed of sound. The Valkyrie's first flight was in 1964, with the aircraft being 59.69 meters long and with a wing that was swept back at 65.5 degrees. To eliminate the need for a large wing, which causes drag, the engineers at North American Aviation used the compression lift principle. Compression lift means when air flows under the cone-shaped underbody of the Valkyrie, it moves the air to the side of the wings, which produces more pressure under the wing, which then produces more lift. Also, because of the speed of the aircraft, the airframe got very hot, especially around the nose area, and reached 330 degrees Celsius at supersonic speeds. Unlike other aircraft, the Valkyrie had 2 canards, which provided trim situated behind the cockpit. The aircraft was also powered by 6 General Electric J93 GE3 turbojets, which each produced around 13,608 kilograms of thrust. The Bell X-2 Starbuster. The Bell X-2 Starbuster was an American research aircraft which flew at Mach 3.196 in 1956. The Starbuster was designed and built by the successful aircraft company Bell, which also built the first aircraft to go faster than the speed of sound, the Bell X1. The X2 was designed to retest how aircraft fly at 2 times the speed of sound, and it did this very well, with swept back wing and streamlined design. But like a lot of other research aircraft, its career was short, only flying for 2 years. The reason for this very short career was because in 1956, pilot Milburn G. APT turned too tightly, causing him to lose control and eject out of the aircraft. Mikhail MiG25 Foxbat. The Mikhail Gurevich MiG25 Foxbat is a Russian long-range interceptor and reconnaissance aircraft capable of flying at Mach 3. The Foxbat was designed to be Russia's version to the West SR-71, F-108 Starfighter and B-70 aircraft. First flown in the early 1970s, over 1,200 aircraft had been built, with production ending in 1983. Even though the Foxbat has a maximum speed of Mach 3, it has very rarely flown at this speed to avoid destruction of the 11,000 kilogram thrust capable engine. To put the aircraft simply, it's a massive fuel tank and an engine, room for a pilot. The Lockheed YF12. The Lockheed YF12 was an American interceptor prototype which eventually was superseded by the legendary SR-71 Blackbird. The aircraft was capable of speeds of Mach 3.2 and was powered by 2 Pratt & Whitney J58 engines, each producing 31,500 pounds of thrust each. The YF12 was designed by Clarence Kelly Johnson, who also designed the SR-71 Blackbird. With only 3 built, each setting records like the highest altitude and highest speed. These all eventually got beaten by the SR-71. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird. The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird is an American long-range supersonic reconnaissance aircraft capable of speeds of 3,661 km per hour. The Blackbird was used by the USAF and NASA for testing, but was retired in 1989. The aircraft was the world's fastest and highest flying aircraft and carried an advanced synthetic aperture radar that could scan each side of its flight path. The aircraft was made out of materials like titanium and stainless steel to deal with the massive temperatures put on the airframe at supersonic speeds. With 30 Blackbirds built, including one 2-seat training aircraft, the SR-71 is truly a remarkable aircraft. The North American X15. For our number 1 fastest aircraft in the world, it is the North American X15 experimental plane, which still today holds the record for the fastest manned aircraft. On the 3rd of October 1967, pilot William J. Knight was dropped from a B-52 Stratofortress and flew at a world speed record of 7,200 km per hour, or Mach 6.70 in the X15, which still today has not been broken. Other records the X15 still holds is it flew at a height of 100 kilometers, and it is the first spaceplane. Maybe in the future the X-15's records may be broken, but for now, this is the fastest aircraft in the world.